Hello, I know I look dumb as hell, but let me explain. I just took my dog outside. I'm still a little cold, and the reason these look like this is because they are transition lenses, so they switch to sunglasses outside. As we go through this video, you'll see them fade back to normal, but right now I look like this, and I apologize. So last we left off, we were getting ready to go save the king. So let's get into it. Today I'll land another hit on you, Karma. If you can, darling, I welcome the challenge. Princess, your side is open. I bring my sword up closer to my side as Garland strikes me. Tonight's the first night I get to use a real sword as opposed to a practice sword. The sounds of metal clashing echoes into the night. Is this what a real battle feels like? No, it's far more terrifying, girl. Far more terrifying. We've been practicing under skirmish conditions for the last few days. Since tomorrow's the day we enact our plan, we're doing some last-minute practice. Remember, fighting back-to-back is better than doing it alone. Claude dodges Jurian's sword as he speaks, but I notice that he seems to be taking special care not to look in my direction. He's been fine for the last few days, but I'm not sure when his pain will return. If only he would tell me what was wrong with him. When Claude finally calls the end of practice, we're all exhausted. Good job, everyone. You'll be fine tomorrow. Garland turns to face me, a soft expression on his face. And if it comes down to it, Jurian and I will protect you. Garland looks over his shoulder at Claude. Both of you. That's our job as knights. I am quite capable of protecting myself, but I do appreciate the offer. It's late. We should all get some rest. The two knights excuse themselves, leaving me with Claude. Carly, you should go to bed. Princess? I have a feeling I won't sleep much tonight anyway. Be that as it may, you should still try. I'm about to retire for the night as well. Shit. I just started and you're making me make a choice? God damn it. Let's do this. I want to keep practicing. Princess, if you overexert yourself, your reflexes will be slow tomorrow. But I'm nowhere near as good as Jurian and Garland. You sure you won't reconsider going, Princess? No, so please stop insisting I reconsider. I'll go try to save my father. Claude sighs out, then leans forward to set a hand on my head. Carly, promise me you'll stay behind me if we're attacked. And if at any point it looks like we may not make it, you're to run as fast as you can back to the Marken. But that's cowardly. Carly, don't you remember what I said before? Sometimes running is the right thing to do. Never run into an impossible situation. Instead, live to fight another day. Promise me you'll stay behind me, please. Give me that peace of mind. Making me make another choice, god damn it. I don't know what to do here. I don't know if I'm making the right choices or not. I can't promise that. Princess, I'll be fighting right beside you if it comes down to it. I'm gonna protect him. Staying behind him will only have him suffering because of me. Stubborn until the very end. I only want to be on equal footing with you. Claude sighs but does not say anything. Let's attempt to sleep in preparation for tomorrow. When this is all over, I'll pry Claude's secrets out of him. I don't think those were the right choices. Okay, we're gonna go back. I don't think... We're gonna go back here. Oh, wait. We're gonna... Continue. So we're gonna start with this one. And let's try I Want to Talk to You. About what? Claude takes a step back and I stare as his hand absent-mindedly moves to his chest. Are you really okay, Claude? I've been perfectly fine this past week. He's lying. He's obviously in pain. Why do you have to keep your pain a secret? Why won't you talk to me? That was the right choice! Okay. I told you before that some things are better kept a secret, Princess. Claude sighs out, then leans forward to set a hand on my head. Carly, promise you'll stay behind me for attacked, and I don't think saying no is the answer. I think it's okay, fine. If at any point it looks like we may not make it, you're to run as fast as you can back to the Marken. But that's cowardly. Carly, don't you remember what I said before? Sorry, my nose is just... Sometimes running is the right thing to do. Never run into an impossible situation. Sorry. Instead, live to fight another day. Promise me you'll stay behind me. Please, give me that peace of mind. If I'll make him feel better before going into this mission, I can't deny his request. Claude's expression softens as he moves away from me. I'll stay behind you. There we go. Thank you, Princess. Okay, now I'll override... Actually, no, I'll just save right there. Let's attempt to sleep in preparation for tomorrow. When it's all over, I'll pry Claude's secrets out of him. There we go. There we go. I fixed it. I fixed it. This is why you should sit, like, if you are ever doing some sort of, like, Otome game like this, and there's a specific route you want to do, save right before you have to make a choice, or right when you have to make a choice, and go back if you specifically want a route. I know that to some people that would be considered cheating, but if you know what result you want, do it. Tonight's the night and everyone's just about ready to go. I can't get this feeling of foreboding off my chest. Everyone's gathered close to the door, ready to see us off. Everyone except... Princess! Rumpel suddenly appears, a niece coming up to stand right next to him. What are you two doing here? Well, of course we came to wish you good luck, just like everyone else here. We'll be waiting for you tonight so that we can celebrate everyone's return. Oh, Anise, you optimistic, sweet summer child. Be careful. Emmeline, who's been everywhere with her brother since they came here, is standing right beside him now with a smile. I'll pray for your safe return. Her smile wavers and I can tell she's uncertain. She has the great knights of Caldera, 2 witches, and a prince. She'll be fine. Rod's responses are curt as usual, but I cannot help but notice the hesitance in his voice. Well, one of them's a fairy, actually. Even though he stares at me without expression, I think I can see a tinge of worry in his eyes. Rest assured, we'll keep the princess safe. We're not going to let Alcaster get away with what he did to Angela and its royal family. Parfait steps forward last. She and Delora glance at each other, and I feel as if some secret message bounces between the two of them. Delora nods ever so slightly before Parfait turns to the rest of us. Her eyes eventually fall on me. You've changed since you've been here, Princess, but your dedication and resolve never wavers. It's always been there, just beneath the surface. Stubbornness or resolve? As if Parfait is able to read my thoughts, she smiles as she sets a hand on my shoulder. Your dedication is very much like King Gennaro's. You are proud and honorable and always take steps in the right direction. That's why I know you'll be back tonight. Just as Rumpel said, we'll all be waiting for you. All of you. Stay safe tonight. I nod my head as everyone gathered around begins to repeat their hearty goodbyes. It's Delora who walks off first. We all follow behind. The night's just begun. Our way to the palace gates is uneventful, but we pause some distance away from them to take shelter in a nearby alley. There are knights everywhere. Waltz points to what looks like a regular section of the wall. Oh, I guess Waltz is a witch. That's right. There's the hidden door to the tunnels. If we time it right between the knights' patrols, we should be able to make it. On my signal. Claude puts a hand on my shoulder and squeezes. It's an abrupt gesture and it doesn't last long, but the motion calms my nerves somewhat. Now I wonder, is this going to be a tragic ending where he confesses to us while he's dying, or are we going to have a happy ending? Because I would prefer the happy ending. We will be fine. Our footsteps echo in the tunnel. Standing in front of me are Jurian and Garland, who are flanking Waltz. Dolores stands beside me, and Claude is at my back. A small tunnel makes it seem like we brought a lot of people. This way. We suddenly follow Waltz's instructions. How is it that Waltz knows about these tunnels? He probably asked Rod. I've already taken into account the guards and where they might be positioned based on Prince Rod's information. We should be alright. Garland and I will act as distractions if needed. Princess, leave most of the fighting to us, if there's any to be done. I know, I'll only fight if I need to. If only I wasn't cursed, I'd be able to fight to my full extent. I think you're still quite capable without all your magic, puppeteer. Oh, a compliment. It's an honor, Miss Karma. I'm only in this just because of Jurian, you know. Jurian crosses her arms and cocks an eyebrow at Claude. I wouldn't fall in love with you no matter what you say. That's what they all say. We're here. Suddenly, everyone goes quiet. I feel a lot heavier as I stare at the staircase in front of me. This should lead to the throne room. I didn't know we had a secret passage in the throne room. How much does Waltz know about the palace? Immediately after we step into the throne room, we split apart to avoid the guards' gazes. I sit close to Claude and Waltz as Delora conjures a blanket of shimmering fog that envelops the guards. Ooh. I watch as the guards' eyes close before they slip to the ground. Delora drops her hands once all the guards are truly asleep. Amazing how intolerant humans are to magic. Let's keep going. Getting through the palace is no easy feat. Hallways that were easy to get through before are difficult to traverse now with all the soldiers standing around. Delora casts a spell to silence our footsteps into quiet muffles, but moving is still difficult, especially with such a group. Eventually we arrive just outside the tunnels that should lead to the castle's prison. I'll stand watch. Be careful, Waltz. I will. We enter another network of tunnels. Jurian, Garland, after you. Jurian glances at me briefly, then at Claude, who nods a little stiffly. We'll be right back. In accordance with the plan, Claude and I are left at the halfway point of the tunnels to ensure a clean escape as Delora, Jurian, and Garland continue on to the prison. He should be fine, but I'm still worried. My eyes wander to Claude as I bite down on my lower lip, but I notice that his hand is once again raised to his chest. I find myself reaching out to grab Claude's hand, but he swiftly pulls it away. The glare on his face takes me by surprise. Why is he so angry? Claude puts a hand to his chest and flinches as he leans on the wall. Not now. His voice sounds pained. What is he talking about? Claude? I just need some space, Princess. But I'm fine. I can't help but feel irritated at the way Claude has snapped at me. I'm sorry, I don't mean it to be this way. It's... He trails off, his eyes distant. Because of your curse, right? Most of the time he's sociable and a pleasure to talk to, but then he reverts to this state. It's like he's two different people. I can't understand why he's like this. Probably because of his curse. Why do I care so much for someone who keeps secrets? Carly, I wish I could explain, but if I did, you'd hate me. Or more accurately, you'd be afraid of me. Okay. We're gonna do a quick little save here. Why would I be afraid of you? You've never done anything frightening before. You aren't a frightening person. The only time you ever frighten me is when you're like this, when you look like you're in pain, and when you keep secrets. The secrets are my own selfish desire, but they're for your safety too. You're talking in circles. Why won't you just tell me what's going on? Claude's voice trails off at the sound of running. His hand moves quickly to the hilt of his sword just as I reach for mine. We only relax when we see that it's Jurian, Garland, and Delora heading towards us. Why are they alone? Where are the king and queen? They weren't in the prison. Oh shit. Okay. I don't think that was the correct choice, so we're gonna go back. Oh, whoops. I always forget that I need to hit main menu first. I can't just click on a previous save. That's not how it works. I could never be afraid of you. What is there to be afraid of? Claude wears a pained expression as he looks at me. I see him once again grabbing at the collar of his dress, looking like he's in some kind of quiet agony. That's what she said too. Is he talking about that one woman from before? The one who didn't love him? He thinks I'm the same? I'm not like her. There we go. Carly. Claude's voice trails off at the sound of running. There we go, we made the right decision. Sam moves quickly to the hilt of his sword just as I reach for mine. We only relax when we see that it's Jurian, Garland, and Delora heading towards us. Why are they alone? Where are the king and queen? They weren't in the prison. Dun dun dun! I have no idea where else they could be. Delora steps out from between the two of them, her expression somber. This doesn't bode well for us at all. We can't keep sneaking without a direction. That's a sure way to get caught. The words had just left her mouth when the alarm sounds behind us. Don't tell me. It's the alarm. Everyone draws their weapons as Waltz appears, running towards us with a harried expression on his face. The knights are on their way! How did they know we were here? In seconds, I hear the clinking of metal, and then there are knights upon us. We're forced to scatter to deal with different opponents. A guard rushes at me with his sword, and I somehow manage to block his attack. I should be able to wind around him. And it falls after I catch him from behind and give Claude an opening to attack him. Carly, stay behind me! I promised I would, remember? Let's keep it that way. A smile flashes across his face, and for a few moments he seems more like the Claude that I know. Ugh. It manages to separate Claude and I, leaving me by myself. He grabs my arm. Unhand me! I watch in shock as a shimmering fog surrounds my attacker, his eyes closing as he slumps to the ground. He is only the first to fall. Seconds later, most of the knights in my immediate vicinity have fallen to the ground. I can tell by the subtle rise of their chests that they're asleep. Sorry, I couldn't focus long enough to cast that spell earlier. Laura drops her hands and turns to address Waltz, Claude, and I. Head towards the entrance hall. The king must be in one of the central rooms. Jurian, Garland, and I will head to the bedchambers in the east wing to look for the queen. Splitting up is not part of the plan. We don't have much of a choice anymore if we're gonna get the king and queen out of here. We have to improvise. Now go! Claude grabs my hand and jerks his head at Waltz. Let's go. The three of us rush out and into one of the palace hallways. I keep my gaze forward while Waltz and Claude watch for enemies on either side of us. On our right! Claude grabs the sword and moves before Waltz and I can respond. He dives low toward a soldier, his sword poised straight for a devastating blow. Knights begin to approach us from the left, and I raise my sword, readying myself. Walt snaps his fingers, a flash of light blinding the men in the immediate vicinity, and I use the opportunity to rush the knights in front of me. I grit my teeth as I attack. Most of my blows are lucky. There are too many knights for me to be able to get the upper hand. There's so many of them. Well, well, if it isn't the most desirable princess. I whip around to attack the man that spoke to me, but he's nowhere to be found. Where is he? Who are you? I wonder. Carly! I turn and see Claude running toward me, a panicked expression in his eyes. I take a step toward him when a masked man suddenly blocks my path. Who are you? Fritz? I raise my sword, but the masked man taps his cane on the floor before I can swing. An incredible pressure blasts out from the cane. It shoves Claude to the floor and blows me backwards. I hit the wall hard and my vision darkens. Is that Fritz? Claude. Where am I? Why can't I see anything? My head hurts. Rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. I jerk upright at the familiar voice. You're the man who knocked me out. The man laughs and I blink as I try to pinpoint the direction of his voice. Did he blindfold me? I command you take off this blindfold. I don't take orders from princesses that no one remembers. But I am a gentleman, so I suppose I shall have to heed a lady's request. The blindfold is abruptly pulled off and I flinch at the sudden brightness. It's gotta be Fritz, right? Like, something has changed since our character got turned into a pauper, basically. It has to be, right? Why, hello there, princess. My captor looks at me, amused. He wears a crooked grin on his masked face and a cape on his shoulders. Who is he? My eyes wander to the throne, and I cannot help but gasp at what I see. The king is strapped to the throne, hands bound, mouth covered. Your Majesty! The king pauses to look at me. His eyes contain a mixture of alarm and confusion. I turn to glare at the masked man. Let him go. No can do, princess, though. Don't you think he still looks regal sitting on his throne like that? I grit my teeth as I begin to struggle against my bonds. Struggle all you like, you won't get out of those knots anytime soon. Who are you? The masked man drops into an elegant bow. I'm called Varg. Varg? What have you done to my father? Me? Oh, nothing. Well, nothing much. I guess gagging a person and tying their hands behind their back counts as something. Are you working for Sir Alcaster? I don't work for anyone. So he's a mercenary. The door flies open and Alcaster steps in, his face full of anger. Mithros, the fool! How absolutely useless he was! Varg gives a dismissive shrug. He regards me again with his mischievous smile. Well, I do agree with that wholeheartedly. That man is in the past. Here in the present, we have someone far more interesting to deal with. Yeah, they have the same eyes. It's gotta be Fritz. Varg gestures at me. I glare at Varg before turning my gaze to Alcaster. I used to think Alcaster was someone to be respected. Not anymore. If it isn't the princess herself. You remember who I am? Once Mithros made the connection, it was just too obvious to be false. Could Sir Mithros remember me? Alcaster shifts his attention to the king. Gennaro, do you not remember this girl as your own blood daughter? My eyes meet the king's, but I see no recognition in his gaze. He cannot remember me. I haven't managed to break my curse yet. Why are you doing this to my father? To the kingdom? Everything I do for the kingdom. All successful rulers have ruled with an iron fist. Fear is the best motivation. That is not true. If anyone out here truly believes that, you're wrong. You are absolutely wrong. A king that is too lenient and does not inspire fear has no business being on the throne. Once again, you are wrong. But the people of Anjil love their king. Before I had thought the town people were despicable because they hated me. Now I understand those reasons. They may have judged me as mother's daughter, which is wrong, but that does not mean they should be subject to a regime of fear. Your obligation as a ruler is to rule for the country, not the people. Back when the queen was alive in this place near the Fear of the Witches, they were far more productive. Fear motivates. Fear makes a man... King Alcaster! You better have a good excuse for interrupting. Your Highness, there's a beast! What are you blathering about, you fool? A beast, a magical beast is rampaging around the palace. Is it, Karma? Is it, Claude? Is this the dead witch's doing? No! Did they kill Delora? Dead witch? No, Delora's fine. She has to be. Out with it. Did Mithros do this? What? I can't stop myself from blurting out the question. Sir Mithros is a witch? He was a witch, but now he's dead. He turns to his knight and demands more information. I'm too shocked to hear their words. Well, that explains why he remembers you. Sir Mithros? A witch? Impossible. What of the other palace intruders? We've managed to apprehend some of them, but we can't get to anyone with that beast taking us out. It is 100% Claude. That damned Mithros still a pain even after death. What did you do to Sir Mithros? Did you not hear me, girl? He's dead, killed by my hand. But why? He was helpful. At first, we worked together to achieve our own personal goals. His eyes met me cautiously. He wanted you, Princess. If Sir Mithros was a witch, that would explain why he remembered me. Why did he want me? Who knows? It doesn't matter anymore. I gave him my knights to assist him in his search when the witches could not. But in the end, that fool was too power-hungry. Are you sure you're not projecting a little bit, sir? You never entered into my plans. You would have been safe, Princess, had you just stayed put. But now that you're here, you'll come in handy. Alcaster turns back to the knight, who immediately bursts into explanation once more. The beast is moving quickly. We don't know how much longer we can keep it from this room. There's a beast in the palace, and it's Sir Mithros' doing? I'm so confused. And what about the others? Are they okay? Let me go, Alcaster. You're not going anywhere. Sounds like some of your friends are very persistent. They'll be coming for you, and when they get here, I'll kill them. You, Princess, are gonna make excellent bait. You know, I like this turn of events. Kind of amusing. You, tell me what all of this is. Varg looks unmoved by Alcaster's anger. It's Mithros that summoned this beast, is it not? Then you must know what's happening. You're asking me, of all people? Ha! As if I would be able to answer any of your questions. You... Varg! It doesn't matter how many times you say my name, Alcaster. I won't have any answers for you. Sir Alcaster turns to me, his eyes manic. Whether this is Mithros' magic or magic belonging to one of your friends, I'm not going to let it live. Could Delora create a beast out of thin air? Sir Alcaster draws his sword from his sheath and curses under his breath. I squirm, desperate to find some kind of break in my restraints. Varg surprises me, however, by reaching down and cutting the ropes, binding my arms with a sword that I recognize. You have my sword! I stand up as quickly as I can to grab the sword from him. That was too easy. I eye Varg warily as his mouth twists into a smirk. What are you doing? Why are you helping me? Help? All I did was cut some ropes. Besides, I'm curious to see what you'll do with that toothpick of a sword. He talks like he doesn't care at all what happens. Don't think about it too much, Princess. It's probably a little too much for your small head. I swing my sword towards him, and Varg catches it with his cane. You really think that I'm the one you should be fighting? The door creaks and falls off its hinges. The knights stumble back, and I can hear screaming as loud footsteps sound against the hall's tiles. So, what will you do? Run? Hide? Or will the beast kill you too? That is 100% karma. Or, I guess, Claude. My eyes focus on the large figure entering the room, though I cannot make out specifics at first. The form grows more distinct the further it moves into the room. Whatever this is, I cannot fight it. There's a moment of eerie silence, and then all caster yells, and the knights rush forward, attacking the beast as a collective. The beast throws them off with surprising nimbleness, his rage in every swipe. I dodge away just before a man's body falls on top of me. Over here, beast! Sir Allcaster rushes at the beast. I finally manage to get a clear line of sight to the king, who's still bound and helpless on the throne. The king. I have to get him out of here. I run towards the throne, but someone stops me dead in my tracks. Seeing the king really shouldn't be your priority right now. I grit my teeth and swing my sword at Varg, but he easily darts away from me. I would be watching my back. It's then that I notice the beast slowly making its way towards me. Why would it be after me? Either I stay here and fend it off, or Allcaster catches the beast with a broad swipe of his sword, and the two are focused once more on each other. I glance urgently at the king, then at the doors. The beast moves again, and I realize that it is once more heading towards me. There's no way I can help the king in all this mess. I need help. I have to find the others. It's gonna make me make a choice here. I don't know what to do. Hopefully Allcaster will keep this beast busy long enough for me to get them. I turn and bolt through the room, weaving my way through the chaos of knights as I head to the door. I glance over my shoulder one last time at the king. His eyes are trained on the battle before him. His hands grip the arms of his throne, but there's nothing he can do. I'm so sorry. I'll be back. But for now, I have to find the others. I dart past the carnage in the room, stepping over and around bodies as they appear. Halfway to the door, the beast lunges past Sir Allcaster, and for a few moments, I think he might be attacking me. Stay back! I hold my sword out in front of me and stand in a defensive position, like Claude taught me, but the beast never reaches me. You've ruined everything, beast! Allcaster is suddenly in front of me, waving his sword at the beast. I stumble back towards the doors, my heart beating loudly in my chest. I have to get out of here. Chapter 10, The Beauty and the Sinner. Where did the beast come from? Knights immediately rush towards me. I back away as far as I can without re-entering the throne room. Princess, come quietly and we'll keep you somewhere safe until this all dies down. I raise my sword and stand ready when the knights surround me. I order you to stay out of my way. Our apologies, Princess, but we are under orders from the king. Allcaster is not the true king. What did he offer you for your loyalty? Wealth? Status? That is none of your concern. One of the knights moves towards me and I react on instinct, swiping at him. You might want to put that down before you hurt yourself, Princess. Do not antagonize me. One knight rushes me and my blade connects with his shoulder. Another approaches me from behind and I hit him with the back of my sword. The third moves too fast for me and I feel his blade cut into my shoulder. Ugh. I hiss at the pain that stings from the wound. I'm bleeding. Next time he swings, I successfully manage to evade him, but then bump into another knight. I'm surrounded. Just come with us, Princess. We don't want to hurt you. No. I feel one of the knight's hands on my shoulder. I attempt to pull away from him, but stop when I hear him scream. The beast stands behind me, eyes narrowed, its mouth gaping wide. A scream escapes my throat. The knights change their focus to attacking the beast, but it easily swipes them away as it advances towards me. It's getting closer. I desperately back up. However, my back soon hits a wall, and with nowhere else to go, I stand in the defensive position that Claude has taught me. I hold out the sword and then use it to throw back the beast's shadow claw as he reaches out for me. That stance. It talks? Stay away from me! The beast moves towards me again and I stumble in place, struggling to hold my ground. A knight throws his sword, the blade impaling itself onto the beast's shoulder and giving me an opening. The beast's wounded arm swings into my reach and I lash out with my sword, managing to draw blood. Princess! Blur would never create a beast like this. This has to be Sir Mithros' doing. I think it's Claude. An attacking knight catches the beast's attention, and I do not wait. As the beast turns, I raise my sword and manage to slide it deep into the beast's chest. A piercing cry erupts from somewhere deep in its throat, and I stumble back without my sword, which is still stabbed through the creature's heart. The beast collapses to the ground. I stare as it raises a hand to its chest. That motion reminds me so much of... Right. It was all an illusion. A glimmer of light catches my eye. I freeze as I stare down at the ground. Right there where the blood is already pooling around the sword in the beast's chest is a rose-shaped locket. The locket I gave Claude! Why do you... The beast stares up at me with glassy eyes, its mouth barely moving. After a few moments, a low rumbling comes from the beast's throat, and I realize that it is a grisly, pained chuckle. Afraid of me. I told you. The beast stares at me unblinking, but its eyes are already beginning to haze over. The way it speaks and the locket it has. Are you that fucking stupid? I look at the locket again, at the blood seeping beneath the surface, and I suddenly realize it took you long enough. Yeah, it certainly took you long enough, stupid. If I ever told you the reason, you'd hate me, Carly, or more accurately, you'd be afraid of me. No, no, no! This is your fault. I kneel down beside the beast. I was wrong. No, no, no. Claude! I clutch the locket to my chest as I kneel over the beast. Claude, no, please! I lean down to listen to his breathing, but there's nothing but silence. Everything around me goes dark. I killed him. There's the sound of footsteps behind me, but they are mute, unimportant. Claude, I'm so sorry. Okay, why did I get the bad ending? How do I fix that? Obviously. What? One moment. Okay. There are a couple of things. I gotta go back to chapter 3. So we're gonna do that. Karma chapter 3. So let's go back to here, because that's where chapter 3 starts. You've unlocked the fast forward feature. Okay. So fast forward. Yes. It's terrible, which I chose last time. I'm pretty sure. What? Most people don't agree with me. Yes, we're doing this. It doesn't make sense for a witch to cast a good curse on you. Okay. So that's a save. So we're going to go here. And then fast forward to the next choice. Stand up for Rumpel is what I should have done. No matter how annoying Rumpel is... we're going to read this one because I don't think I've seen this one. No matter how annoying Rumpel is, I don't think it deserves to be abused so much. Besides, Karma doesn't usually lash out like this. I move to stand in front of Rumpel. Princess? This is pathetic, Karma. I know you're not in the mood for pleasantries, but that's no excuse to hurt Rumpel. Princess, please move. You're acting like a petulant child. Fine. You're right. I wasn't expecting him to so easily admit to a mistake. I turned to Rumpel. I was only standing up for you, Rumpel, because Karma's annoying me. I looked down at my necklace, but there's no extra piece. So that wasn't a good deed either. Alright, what's happening over here? Julian comes to stand in front of us, Jurian comes to stand in front of us, her expression stern. Oh, nothing, my sweet. I was just showing myself out. Thank you, Princess Carly. Rumpel leaves and I'm alone with Karma. He slumps back down into his chair. After making sure he won't do anything rash again, Jurian leaves us. There we go. I'm sorry, Princess. It appears I really was being a child. Rumpel is harmless, and there is no reason for me to act as uncivilized as I did. What would Father think? Father? Oh, it's nothing, but please, if you would, can you give me some time alone? Fine. I leave Karma sitting there by himself and return to the front of the tavern where Anise has more chores waiting for me. Today I have to work as a server, which is still better than working with Mr. Broom. The usual people are at the tavern, and I overhear conversations as I work. At one point, Garland walks over to the bar, and Anise serves him a drink. Okay, so we've got that one. I'm gonna have to start overwriting saves here in a minute. He looks sullen, and I watch him curiously for a few moments. Then I notice he's staring at Jurian, who's talking sternly to two drunken men continuously clacking their bottles together at a table. Okay, I think that's just like we've been through all this. So we're gonna fast forward to the next choice. Remain inside is what I should have done. On second thought, maybe it'd be dangerous. I turn and see Laura looking at me with amusement flickering in her eyes. Did you come down to visit Mr. Broom or something? I didn't know you two had gotten so close. We haven't. It was a joke, Princess. You really don't have a sense of humor, do you? I think it's you who doesn't have a sense of humor. Snappy as a crocodile as always. So, what are you doing down here? Couldn't sleep? Me too. I heard some sounds. I just wanted to see where they were coming from. Okay, so this is definitely new. Sounds? Are you really spooked by some sound from the forest, or are you just too curious for your own good? Curiosity killed the cat, you know. I didn't ask for your opinion, witch. Well, the both of us could use some fresh air, don't you think? I stare at her in surprise. There it is. Come on, I know a place we can go. Laura and I eventually find ourselves in the forest. Okay. Those sounds, it's like metal against metal. Well, I guess with you being partnered with Karma, you'd find out eventually. Excuse me? I get the answer to my question when we walk through the trees and come into a clearing. I finally see where the sounds are coming from. Yep, we got this already. Two men stand in the clearing, swords clashing. Yep, okay. It takes me a moment to realize that the other is Karma, who isn't in a dress. Right. Okay. Fast forward. I can see why you wouldn't tell her is the right choice here. Oh. Because she's better than me. No, because if you told her and she refused, then it would be difficult afterwards. You understand, Princess? Of course I understand. I'm not stupid. No, I didn't mean it like that. Don't take offense, Garland. That's just the way she talks. The princess is a fragile flower with her petals always curved inward. What does that even mean? See, if it were Jurian, she'd probably know, but I'm just as confused as you are. Okay. So there's that choice done. I don't think so. I don't think anyone understands half the fluff Karma speaks. There we go. It's because I weave love and dedication to every single one of my words. There's beauty in deciphering them. But enough idle chatter, sir. Let's continue our training. I end up staying longer than I intended. By the time I consider returning to the tavern, Garland and Karma are wrapping up for the night. I have a question for Karma, so I wait until Garland leaves before I approach him. You're still here, Princess. Were you seeking out alone time with me by chance? I have enough of that every day when we run errands. I just have a question for you. You always come to the right person. What can I do for you, Princess Carly? You ask Garland the same question every time you train, and he always tells you that he cannot confess. Karma nods in acknowledgement, but his attention is on his sword. He inspects it carefully before sheathing it. It frustrates me. You're frustrated? That look of his always annoys me. Oh my. It's annoying. Do you want to ask him why he won't confess because you're so frustrated? Yes. I suppose after almost 2 months, I do know you a bit better. You don't know anything about me. And I don't know anything about Karma either. Confessing isn't easy, dear Carly. Surely you must realize the possibility of rejection is a significant deterrent. I mean, yeah, we read all this. So we're going to fast forward to the next choice. I chose the lizard last time. I figured that was the right one. Oh my, is that a chameleon? A chameleon? It is a chameleon. Oh, that's adorable. Sir will take one of those. I was thinking he'd like it for the colors, not the chameleon, whatever that is. Yes, I remember that moment. I was like, how the fuck do you not know what a chameleon is? Okay. Next choice, yes. Tease. He obviously wants to leave, but I can't help myself. Miss Karma, I do wish you would say something. At the very least, you could thank this girl for her compliment. Oh no, it's quite alright. Come on, Karma, you're usually the most charming person on these streets. Thank you. He sounds like he's dying now. I can't help but start laughing again. The small annoyance on Karma's face seems to dissipate completely. Leaving. He shakes my hand and curtsies politely to the girl as he pulls me away. Karma, you sound sick. God, so many... I'm gonna have to, like I said, I'm gonna have to start overwriting things. It's run out. Run out? The potion that Parfait makes for me. I must have talked too much. You talked too much? Karma puts a finger to his lips as we stroll through town. He shakes his head, making it clear that he won't speak to me until later. Okay. When we arrive at the tavern, it's already dark. Karma pauses and turns to look at me. What? You have a nice smile, Princess Carly. I'm glad I could make you laugh. Okay, we're gonna skip ahead to the next one. Yes. Fight back. For a few minutes that I'm free, I turn around, but all too soon the man grabs me again. Yep. I bite his hand, and I run off. What's this I see before me? I could see Carmen standing on the rooftop right above us in his disguise, holding a sword with a broad grin on his face. Madam, you might hurt yourself playing with that sword. You might want to put it down. What's this, sir? Do you feel threatened by me? You should. Carmen jumps down from the building and raises the sword in front of him. His eyes are angry. His earlier jovial personality has fallen away. Anyone that attacks a lady has to pay for the crime. Okay, so we're gonna save that. Now I have a sword, and you do not. Do you really want to test your luck, sir? Ugh, this isn't worth it. The man runs off, leaving me alone with Carmen in the alleyway. What's this? You were a lot cockier just a few moments ago. We're gonna fast forward. The lips is what I was supposed to choose. I chose eyes last time. Despite myself, I find my gaze dropping to Karma's lips. Why do I feel like I'm walking into a trap? The lips? My, princess, I didn't think I'd ever hear you say that you looked at my lips when I smiled. I did not say that. Oh, but you did, and princess, I do believe you're blushing. Even though Carmen never said he was referring to his features, I thought about his lips anyway. The thought makes my heart flop, though I don't have the faintest idea why. Anyway, I agree. Though eyes are important, a smile isn't quite brilliant without the lips. Without the lips? Yep. I try to imagine a smile without lips and shudder. You know, that's a fair point. Sorry, princess, I misspoke. Try to dispel the image from your mind. Anyway, I'll let you choose the order of things. Fine. Just don't make me look like a clown, princess. I know how much you like to tease me, but I need to get out of here quickly today. If you need to leave quickly, shouldn't you do your makeup yourself? And I missed the opportunity to have you help me? Nonsense! If I can, I'll have you help me with my hair some other time. The way you do yours is beautiful. I always put effort into my hair, as Mother always emphasized the importance of looking like a princess. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna fast forward to the next choice. Try to convince them. Fighting back is useless when I'm outnumbered. I have to try convincing them that I'm not who they think I am. You're mistaken, sirs. I happened to overhear a conversation, and assuming I'm some imaginary princess is unreasonable. The knights look at each other. You know, she has a point. She was listening in on our conversation. That's clearly suspicious. Did you not hear what I just said? I happened to overhear it. Nothing more. You were cloaked, as if you were trying to hide your features. Being out at night without a cloak is a sure way to draw attention to a lady such as myself. You know, she has a point. Stop saying that, man! Then, ma'am, there should be no problem with us taking you back to the palace. If we're mistaken, we'll clear up the misunderstanding and pay you handsomely. Come on, let's take her to the palace. The knights lead me out onto the empty streets. Why? Why did I have to be so stubborn? The knights continue pulling me down the path until we come to a narrow street. Everyone who sees us walks away to avoid the knights. There's fear in their eyes. But I've done nothing wrong! Ma'am, if it makes you feel any better, we're risking our rank on this as well. I don't know, I'm suspicious of... Who goes there? I look up and notice Karma's familiar figure walking towards us. What is he doing here? And why isn't he in disguise? Okay. It said that was the right choice, and I'm going through this walkthrough and it's saying it's the right choice to try and convince them. So... fast forward. Yes. Step away. I did that last time. This story better just be as dramatic as mine. Thank you, Carly. For what? There it is. For agreeing to listen. Okay, so we're gonna save that. And we're gonna fast forward again. Actually, no. Not yet. And for what you just did. Stepping away from him? Was I distracting him? Yeah. So, this is where we found out his name was Claude. So, yes. You have to tell her. Princess, you know I'm incapable. No, you just think you're incapable. Yeah. We did all that already. Yep, okay. We're just gonna... I'm gonna have to start overwriting saves. Okay, next choice. Yes. Bite his hand is apparently the right choice here. I mean, it does say I'm looking at this like little walkthrough here on the Steam community thing. Correct answers will be in bold, so we are just now finishing chapter 6. You're not even gonna try and find an opening? Yeah, I glared at him. I'm not gonna bite your hand. Bite my hand? I didn't even think of that. But you made it obvious. You put your hand over my mouth. I'd meant for you to try moving my hand. Pushing back a person's thumb usually causes their grip to loosen. How was I supposed to know that? There we go. Experience is the best means of practice, as they say. I haven't complained about that particular lesson, but I withhold it. That was a pretty good attempt, love, but not enough, I'm afraid. I wasn't expecting you to come at me like that. I was expecting sword practice. You weren't expecting a man to kidnap you in the alleyway, were you? I glare up at him, unable to say anything because he's right. Okay. And this is where I started making more right choices, going back and doing it. So we're gonna fast forward. Yes. Scold him. We already did this. We did this in the last part. There we go. Great. Fast forward to the next choice. We did this one too. It was run errands first. And now we're gonna start overwriting saves. That's okay. Fast forward to the next choice. I came to speak with you was the correct one, which I did choose in the previous episode. Yep. He's a very handsome man. Okay. Save. Yes. And we're gonna skip ahead to the next choice. Turn and point your sword at him. That's what I did last time. Yep. Yep, we're overwriting everything. And fast forward. I want a hug was the correct choice, as we found out ourselves when I accidentally hit smile. And I was like, oh, that is incorrect. That was also the last episode. Okay. Correct choice. Do a quick little save. Yes. Yep, this is the thumbnail for the previous episode, as you saw. Skip to the next choice. Yes, please. Thank you. You've done so much for me. It's not just sword fighting, it's your patience, your company, you're saving me when I needed help, etc., etc. That's not true. I'm pretty sure I'm the most selfish person in this tavern. All I ever want is things for myself. I never thought you were selfish, Claude. You think that me wanting you is That was almost a confession, I will say. Alright. And now... skip ahead to chapter 9. It was, I want to talk to you. Are you really okay, Claude? I've been perfectly fine this past week. He's lying. Yeah. Why won't you talk to me? There we go. But that's cowardly, blah blah blah. And then I promise. Yes. Woo woo. And we're gonna save again. Skip ahead to the next choice. I could never be afraid of you. I'm not like her. Okay. Why are they alone? Where are the king and queen? They were in the prison. I have no idea where else they could be. Blair steps out from between the two of them, her expression somber. That was abrupt. Where is he? Who are you? I swear to God, I think that's Fritz, but I don't think I'm gonna find out. Claude. Oh, you know what? I did notice that my chapter 10 said the Beauty and the Sinner, and it's supposed to be the Beauty and the Beast. My head hurts. Rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, he knocked me out. Did he blindfold me? I command you to take off this blindfold. I don't take orders from princesses no one remembers. But I'm a gentleman, so I suppose I'll have to heed a lady's request. Okay. Now, if I did everything right, we should get the better ending here. And I can't really fast forward because there's no other choices. No can do, princess. Though don't you think he still looks regal sitting on the throne? Yep. Let me just... hold on. King Allcaster, you better have a good excuse for interrupting. Your Highness, there's a beast. Dolores fine. Sir Mithros was a witch. Do you not hear me? I killed him, but why? It doesn't matter anymore, he's dead. But now you're here, you'll come in handy. Allcaster turns to the knight, who immediately bursts into explanations. Am I at chapter 10? No, I'm not. There's a beast in the palace that Sir Mithros is doing. Shut up, Allcaster. And Varg, who I am almost positive is Fritz, actually. Varg! Doesn't matter how many times you say my name, Allcaster, I won't have any answers for you. Mr. Alcaster shins me his eyes manic. Or this is Mithras' magic or magic belonging to one of your friends, I'm not gonna let it live. Could Delora create a beast out of thin air? No. You have my sword. Too easy. He's insulting me. So what do you do? Run, hide, or will the beast kill you too? Hello. Okay, come on. Yep. Okay, come on. Let me get to the chapter. I'm sorry I'll be back, but for now I'll find the others. I gotta get out of here. The Beauty and the Beast! There it is! Where did the beast come from? Knights immediately rush towards me. I back away as far as I can without re-entering the throne room. Princess, come quietly and we'll keep you somewhere safe until this all dies down. I can't take them on all at once. Even knowing that, I still pull out my sword. I take a few steps back and suddenly feel my back pressed up against something. Okay, this is very different. The beast stands behind me. Its back to me. I stand in its shadow and realize that if it turned around, it could swap me into the walls just like the rest of its victims. But it's just standing there. Together. Together? Beast says nothing more, though I still feel on edge. There's something oddly familiar about this. Claude told me once it was better to fight back to back. I'll trust you for now, whatever you are. I don't know if it understands me, but I can hope. It seems more like a human than any kind of animal. Princess, get away from the beast! It'll... The knight never finishes his sentence as the beast sends him flying through the air. Oh shit! Why is it helping me? Knights fall like dominoes to the beast, but manage to remain standing when I strike them with my sword. Even taking one down is so hard. These men have been trained for years, while I haven't even had the luxury of a year. Out of the corner of my eye, I sense movement. I see a gleam of silver, and I hear a grunt as the sword is raised into the air. The sword is nowhere near reaching me, but... The beast! I aim a kick at an approaching knight before whirling around to look at the beast. The oncoming sword comes closer to the beast's exposed back, and I know the beast will not be able to dodge in time. Move! I shove past the creature and catch the knight's sword with my own before I can harm the beast. My arms are shaken underneath the strength of the impact when our swords... the strength of the impact between our swords. There we go. I feel like my arms are gonna give out. Then a flash of light appears so bright that everyone's temporarily blinded. Is it my slipper? I stand back, rubbing at my eyes. From the sounds of it, the beasts continue to drive back the knights, most of them shouting at each other to retreat. Alright. What was that? When I'm finally able to see again, my eyes automatically land on my feet. I stare in shock. The glass slippers! Let's go! Glass slippers? I quickly reach up to my pendant and realize it's no longer there. I completed my 3 good deeds? Yeah, you saved... Claude. I almost said Karma. Carly. It knows my name? I look around and realize that the beast and I are alone, the knights having fled. Did the beast drive off the rest of them? I feel a pressure at my back and realize the beast is touching me. My first instinct is to run, but the words it utters next paralyze me. You... okay? Every word sounds breathless and pain, like it takes too much to speak. Is it worried about... It's worried about me? I watch in shock as the beast appears to gesture towards my shoes. You... did it! I step back warily. What are you? The beast reaches out and I see something glittering in the palm of its hand. Yeah. The rose locket! For a few moments, my heart plummets into my stomach and my hands begin to quiver. What did you do to Claude? Beast's shadowed fingers curl over the locket even as he stares at me. I gave that locket to Claude. The beast only stares at me for a few moments longer, and then suddenly I realize that his words, nothing more than a pained growl, do not hold any malice. I gave that locket to you? The beast slowly nods. My grasp on my sword loosens as I stare at him in shock, realization dawning upon me. Claude? Yes. So this is your secret. Why wouldn't you tell me? I could have hurt you! Claude has another form, a cursed form, and he never told me. Why? As my mind whirls, I feel everything coming together like the pieces of a puzzle. Secrets are secrets for a reason, Princess. You should know that. If I could speak on them, I would. But I can't. Carly, I wish I could explain. You would hate me, or, more accurately, you'd be afraid of me. All those times Claude was clutching at his chest. You were touching your tattoos so many times before, like you were in pain. The beast growls, and the sound is surprisingly soft, almost a sigh. Curse. And the tattoo was a warning. The first time I saw that tattoo, it was a beautiful rose. The second time, it had more thorns. Then the rose became ensnared in thorns. When the rose became ensnared in thorns, did he transform? And he always touched his tattoo when he came too close to me. Claude, your curse did not just make others fall in love with you. It stopped you from loving anyone too, didn't it? He mentioned that woman before, the one who he thought loved him, but didn't. Is it possible that she saw him in this form and was terrified of him? If you loved anyone, you would turn into a beast. You loved a woman once, but she only loved you because of your curse. The minute you transformed, she was scared of you. Wasn't she? Yes. He sounds so pained. The reason Claude's been trying to hide everything from me is because he's scared that I would have feared him. That's why beauty has always been so important to him. But the curse cast upon him makes him both beautiful and a beast. I wanted you to love me, but no one could love a beast. Oh! That's just taken out of fucking Beauty and the Beast. That's... His words are dwindling. It almost sounds like he's being suffocated on the inside with how slowly he's speaking. Claude, I've never cared much about appearances. People have worn masks on their faces their whole life around me. Claude, I take a deep breath and face him. I will love you, no matter what form you take. I drop my sword to the ground and make my way over to him. I rest my cheek on his chest and wrap my arms around him. How tall is he in the beast form? I want to know. Is it going to show it? I love you. The room is filled with a bright but gentle light. It almost feels like I'm bathing in sunlight. For a few moments, I forget my worries. Everything feels blissful and quiet, and my heart feels full. Then, moments later, I feel warm arms around my waist. I love you too, Carly. Look at him! I open my eyes. I still can't see anything, even though I know that the light is faded. The warmth is still there too, but now I feel it immediately on my skin, and I realize it's because Claude's hugging me. Not a beast, not as a beast, but as a man. Did I break his curse? Yeah. Look at that. I realize this is the first time Claude's ever touched me for a long period of time without abruptly moving away. Tentatively, I move my hands, feeling the fabric of his shirt and the warmth of him underneath it. Claude. Before I can finish my sentence, my lips are sealed. I feel Claude's lips on mine, only briefly, but it's enough to make me suddenly feel faint. Can I get a picture for a thumbnail? He pulls away from me with a brilliant smile. I've always wanted to do that. No, I don't get like a little pic. That sucks. Carly, you're blushing. If I could, I would kiss you again, but we have some urgent things to attend to. The reality of the situation begins to seep back into me. My father, Varg, Alcaster, they're all still in the throne room. The king! Let's go. When Cloud and I rush into the throne room, my attention is immediately grabbed by the king calling my name. Carly! He's still bound to the throne, though. His gag is removed. A rush of relief floods through me. He's alive. He's alive, and he remembers me. My gaze is drawn to the two men battling at the base of the throne. Their swords are locked together in a stalemate. Alcaster and Fritz? Yeah, I had a feeling. What's happened here? This is not how you gain power. I knew you'd be a thorn in my side from the moment I concocted this plan. Where's Varg? The only one here is me, and I called it! I knew it! I said it in the last episode. And earlier on in this episode. Varg has to be Fritz. He has to be. And I was right. The eyes, everything. The hair, just black instead of white. The only one here is me, and I will. Fritz's concentration slips as his eyes land on me. The opening is small, but it's enough as it gives Alcaster the opportunity he needs. Watch out! Cloud's already running over to help, but even he's too slow. Alcaster disarms Fritz before driving his sword through Fritz's chest. Oh. No! Alcaster pulls the sword out of Fritz's chest just fast enough to deflect Cloud's attack. As Cloud drives Alcaster away from the throne, I rush over to where Fritz has collapsed to the ground. His eyes are already growing glassy. Fritz! I lean over him. There's so much blood. I glare at Alcaster. How could you do this to your own son? Anyone in my way will meet my sword. Blood does not matter. Princess. I turn back to Fritz in alarm, tears in my eyes. Fritz, hold on! Don't speak. You need to conserve your energy. Princess, I'm sorry. Fritz, please don't. Don't speak. I feel bitter tears stinging my eyes. I'm sorry. I watch as the life seeps from Fritz's eyes. I put my hand to his chest to feel for a heartbeat, but his body's still. Fritz! I glance up at the sun to see Cloud at the far side of the room, struggling to get to his feet. Carly, watch out! I turn, but I'm not fast enough. I see Alcaster's sword raised high in the air, and I know it'll reach me before I can pick up my sword. Magic! The sword falls from Alcaster's hand as a bright ribbon of light twines around the hilt and drags it far from reach. I turn and see Dolores standing a short distance away, Jurian, Garland, and Waltz all standing behind her. I'm afraid your performance as king has been incredibly disappointing. Jurian and Garland move together, rushing Alcaster from the same side. I see Cloud moving in from the other side, quiet and lethal. There's so much happening right now. Princess! Waltz and Dolores rush over to me as the fighting continues. Alcaster has reclaimed his sword and is trying to evade attacks from 3 different swords at once. The king! Waltz nods at me, his gaze lingering on Fritz as his expression becomes solemn. He walks off to the throne while Delora kneels beside me. Delora! Delora shakes her head. That's all I need to know that there's nothing more that can be done. We'll make sure he's properly honored, but for now we need to get you out of here. What about Ophelia? Waiting for us somewhere safe. I constructed a shield around her that will keep her hidden from view and harm until we return for her. Weren't we meant to bring the royal family back to the Marken first? Not when we're missing the king. Besides, the plans change when a magical beast starts rampaging the castle. Princess! I turn to look at Alcaster, who is still somehow managing to scream my name, despite the fact that he's being quickly overwhelmed. Princess, we could have worked together. If you were more like your mother, you could have ruled with grace, beauty, and fear. I flinch back, and Dolores' hands come to rest on my forearms, her grip steadying. That is enough. I look up and see that the king has stopped to stand beside me. To To my surprise, the king rests a gentle hand on my shoulder, his eyes soft as he looks at me. Carly, we have a lot to talk about, but right now I have something I must do. I nod mutely and watch as the king draws his sword. He makes his way to Allcaster. Jury and Garland and Claude step back from where they have forced Allcaster to one knee. You're a traitor lacking any honor, Allcaster. You are the one that lacked honor. A ruler must have the people beneath his thumb. A ruler must lead people, not suffocate them. His oath as king is to protect them. You're no king, Allcaster. For your crimes, I find you guilty and incapable of rehabilitation. The sentence for the severity of your crimes is death. The king raises his sword, and I turn away before he strikes down his sword. There's no sound or scream to follow. I turn once more to see that the king has pointed his sword at Allcaster's chest, but has not killed him. You will stay in the prisons until the time for your trial comes. Though you might try to refuse these claims, you will be tried as a traitor to this kingdom. And then you will be executed. Allcaster's shoulders fall. The glare never leaves his face, not even when guards seize him and drag him from the room. The king immediately sends Jurian and Garland out to deal with any knights that are still part of the coup. Delora and Claude help with moving Fritz's body, while Waltz tries his best to fill the king in on the most basic points of our successful operation. Everything has died down a little bit over the last hour, but I still feel overwhelmed. I glance at Waltz and the king, who are still speaking. Every time the king sees me looking at him, he flashes me an uncertain smile before glancing away. I know he wants to speak with me, but I'll talk to him after I can get Fritz's body out of my mind. It was my fault he died, wasn't it? He saw me and stumbled. Hey, princess. What are you doing here? Here I thought you'd changed, but you still got some feistiness in you, don't you? Many years ago when the war ended, we were all faced with a feeling just like this, princess. We had lost so much and the future seemed so grim. But now it's different. You have a future. You broke your curse, princess. That gives you some kind of hope. And in addition, you broke Karma's. Memories of Claude's arms around me, of his lips on mine, come flying back to my foggy mind. My heart still feels tight, but it's a little lighter when I think about him. I wish he was here right now. How did I break Claude's curse? Claude. I don't think I'll ever get used to his real name. Seems like he hasn't told you yet. I guess it's been pretty hectic. So Claude turned into a beast because he loved me? Well, I guess I could give you the laydown of his curse. Stop! Desist! Laura's not even started to speak when Claude runs into the room, gasping as if he's been running through the halls. Curse? Are you speaking about my curse? There's no way he heard us talking in the hallway, is there? Even I feel at a loss for words right now. I sensed that you might be talking about me. The princess was just asking me about your curse. Oh, then I was right to come running, and here I was just guessing at what you might be talking about. Claude's curse was based off of the tale of the Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, I figured. Claude easily finishes her sentence. Delora holds up her hands as if in surrender. So eager to steal the spotlight. Well, you are talking about me after all. You always told me your curse was just the Beauty's curse, though. Well, yes, because the other half was a little difficult to explain, wasn't it? He has a point, though I think he might have been able to save us all some trouble if he hadn't been so secretive about his curse. He really must have been scared that I would shun him. Allow me to explain, princess. In the fairy tale, a prince of a kingdom is transformed into a beast because his heart is as cold as ice. Sound familiar to a certain icy princess, eh? Just trying to lighten the mood. Claude sighs. I would call Carly something far more flattering, like my sweet, beloved, we were talking about your curse. Oh, right. Well, anyway, the witch who cursed the prince in the tale tells him that he has to learn to love and be loved before the petals of a rose completely fall off. Yes. A rose? Yes, she gives him a rose, and he keeps it protected under glass. Some time passes, and the rose continues to wither away. A maiden finds the beast, and eventually the two fall in love. At the end of the tale, she confesses her love to the beast, and he transforms back into a human. By confessing, I saved you? But his curse was different from the tale. I know what you're thinking, that my curse was somewhat different. It was more complicated. The witch made it so that I was both the beauty and the beast. She said it suited me because I was so vain. The witch constructed a very roundabout curse. Any woman who falls for me falls in love with me as the beauty. And when I transformed into a beast, the enchantment would break and they would become terrified of me. I doubt Claude ever thought he would break his curse. The love women felt for him while he was cursed was always fake. How could that kind of love hold strong when he turned into a beast if it was never true to begin with? Then you came along, Princess. I'd bet he'd just about given up hope and was waiting for you to dispel the curse on your birthday, but now here you both are. But the Ice Princess? In love? What a miracle! I turn away, embarrassed. It's not a miracle. I'm very glad I met you, Carly. Lady Laura's words are the truth. I had just about given up hope. I never had any hopes of breaking my curse. I thought the only way to fix it would be to have you dispel it on your birthday. But then I came to know you, and he fell in love. A fairy tale indeed. You started out frowning at everyone and everything. You've come a long way, Princess. Congratulations, you turned out to be a pretty okay princess. And you turned out to be a pretty okay witch. Do my ears deceive me? A compliment from our little witch? Yeah, did you forget you're a witch too? You look so surprised, but you'll be the new bearer of our crystal real soon, Princess. I expect good things from you. Right. I almost forgot about that part. I'll try my best. Yet another miraculous proclamation from the little witch. Will the surprises never cease? Before I can snap at Delora again, the king awkwardly interjects, coming to stand next to us with Waltz by his side. Pardon the intrusion. Oh, not at all, your majesty. Waltz told me that you were cursed. That's why I forgot about you. Yes. Even if it was by a curse, I feel terrible that such a thing could have happened. So, I'll make it up to you. We can catch up from where we were many, many years ago, and maybe things can be different. I'm sorry. What for? For being the way that I was before, for sharing Ophelia and her children. Oh. Ophelia, did they bring her back to the Marken? Ophelia is still here. After the fight was over, she was shown back to her room. She's still waiting for Rod and Emmeline to return. Now, would you maybe be willing to tell me this story from the beginning? Perhaps I could fill in the gaps, your majesty. Claude? King looks startled when he stares at Claude. He blinks as if he's just noticed his presence. Oh, and you are? Claude elegantly bows before the king. I'm Prince Claude of Brigantia. A pleasure to finally meet you, your majesty. The lost prince? King turns to me with a puzzled look. It's a long story. Claude surprised me by wrapping an arm around my shoulders and pulling me closer to him. Everyone looks shocked except for Delora, who looks like she's just trying not to laugh. I can't believe I'm about to say this. As the princess's lover, I feel it is my obligation to help her explain this whole mess. I feel my face getting hotter at Claude's sudden proclamation. All their eyes are now on me as I suddenly feel like hiding myself. Only Claude would so bluntly say such a thing. The king looks more shocked than anything. When did this happen? Well, your majesty, I think we'd better start at the beginning. A very good place to start. We were able to tell the king everything, save for where Varg had disappeared to. No one was sure where he'd gone in all the chaos. The knights searched for him, and all ended in failure. I'm telling you, it was Fritz! A lot of explaining had to be done, not just to the king, but also to the people at the tavern. As soon as everything had calmed down, Rod and Emmeline finally went back to the palace. I apologized to them as best as I could, and they all seemed willing to try again with me. And I'm willing to try again too. As for Claude... So, you're going back. Are you sure you don't want to come to Brigantia with me? Just for a short holiday? I would love nothing more than to introduce you to my family. Mother would shower you with gifts, father would, well, tease you probably. He makes jokes frequently, and Llama... What did you just say? Llama? He has a pet llama? My brother, Llama. Wait a minute. Does he have... So, if anyone has watched The Emperor's New Groove, did he get turned into a llama for some reason? What? Another acronym, we're Karma and Llama. Does your father do these things on purpose? I told you, he likes jokes. My brother's real name is Lance. I was gonna bring you back and introduce the two of you. As in, the one from the King Arthur story? Lancelot? And you could tell my little brother how very charming I am. Is it just my imagination, or is there a glimmer of competition in his eyes? As much as I would like to meet your family, you have your own obligations here. And you need to let your family know that you're safe and alive. But the thought of being separated from you, Claude sighs before he leans down and plants a kiss on my forehead. I'll miss you. You won't be gone that long. Love, that's not how you're supposed to respond. You're supposed to say, my sweet prince, I'll miss you too. Fine then. I'll miss you too. Maybe. Claude raises an eyebrow at me and then smiles. I'll be back for your birthday. I love you, Carly. It's only been a few weeks since Claude left, but I'm impatient. So is the real me. King has been throwing grand dinners every night in preparation for my birthday, but I can hardly concentrate on anyone else when I'm thinking of Claude. I told him about all the smaller birthday celebrations. I thought he'd be here for them. My birthday's in a few days. When will he come back? Will he have a grand entrance at your big birthday party? Because that seems like something he'd do. I tried to make myself busy, mainly by continuing my sword practices with Jurian and Garland, who've both rejoined the Order of Caldera. Every time around the nights, I think of Fritz. I'll bring some new flowers tomorrow. If Claude would just return already, we could go pay our respects together. Hello, Carly, my love, my sunshine, my beautiful betrothed. Claude? I shake my head and try to gather my thoughts. First of all, you did not knock. Second, we're not engaged. We may as well be, don't you think? At the very least, knock before you come in. So worried I would come in on you in the middle of changing? Would you have minded so terribly? Yes! It's worth saying those things just to see you blush. Why are you even here? His arrival was so sudden, I absolutely had no time to prepare. Claude sighs dramatically. You didn't want me back here? No, I mean, you didn't even write to say you'd be back today. I just wasn't expecting you. I did say I would be back for your birthday. I am a man of my word. Should I have stayed out longer? No, of course not. I grumble as Claude walks over to my bed, grinning. He sits down on the bed next to me and wraps an arm around my waist, pulling me closer. I sigh out and lean my head on his shoulder. It's a startling contrast to what it used to be. Before, if I touched him, he would flinch and turn away from me. Now he's always right next to me. Claude's whole body seems to relax, and I tentatively wrap my arms around him and hug him back. I knew I'd miss you, but it really was terrible being away from you. But you enjoyed time with your family. I did, and my brother was very frustrated that I spoke about you almost every hour of the day. How could you have that much to say about me? Oh, I felt that I didn't have enough time to list off all your virtues. I nudge him in the arm, but he just grins at me. A glint from Claude's pocket catches my eye, and I flush proudly when I notice the rose locket. Looking at the locket makes me think back to that night when he transformed back into a prince. Lost in thought, are we? I was just noticing the locket. You still carry it around with you. Of course I do. It's become my most valuable possession. He pulls the little locket out and pops it open. I'm startled when I see the small sheet of paper with my own words on it. My message to him is still there. Claude smiles as he reads the words aloud. A normal rose would have withered, so I offer this one instead in heartfelt thanks. I say nothing when he turns to look at me. Oh, your cheeks are red again. Your embarrassment is adorable, darling. I'm not embarrassed. I just didn't think he'd keep the words in there, or that they would ever mean so much to him. Yes, of course. You just have exceptionally rosy cheeks, hmm? He pauses as he closes the locket again and looks at it fondly. I love this locket because it's the first gift you gave me. He was holding the locket as the beast too. It was half the reason I recognized him. I jump as Claude gently taps my nose with his finger. This locket isn't going anywhere anytime soon, I can assure you. I smile as he winks at me. Anyway, allow me to pull you back into the present. Since I promised you no more secrets, let me tell you something. Oh? Claude looks away from me, his eyebrows furrowing, and I frown. I hope it's nothing serious. I'm nervous about sitting down to dinner with you and your father. Wow, hold on, I can speak. I'm nervous about sitting down to dinner with your father tonight. You're nervous? I start laughing without meaning to. You're laughing at my pain, princess? He pulls me closer and kisses the top of my head. You're too flamboyant to be nervous. I'm confident, princess, not flamboyant. There is a difference. Right. Claude's expression grows more solemn. He looks at me seriously, almost sadly. Carly, I'm still sorry about lying to you. That whole time I made myself up to be someone beautiful. Someone I wasn't. I believed I was truly a good person on the inside and that I deserved good things, even though I was selfish. He's already apologized to me before. Too many times. Claude, you don't have to apologize. No, that witch was right to curse me. I've always had everything handed to me on a silver platter. When I came to Anjil, I believed that if it wasn't going to help break my curse, it wasn't important. And then I met you. At first I thought I would just have to get on your good side so you could help me dispel my curse, but then, Carly, I realized I was drawn to your confidence and commitment. But I could never admit that I was in love with you. I was so scared that if I transformed into a beast and you were scared of me, I would lose my chance at winning your heart. So you see, princess, I was selfish. I wanted all of you without having to give you all of me. I look down at where our hands are intertwined, and I grip his fingers tighter. I've told you enough times now that you have nothing to apologize for. But if you insist on apologizing, maybe you ought to do something to make it up to me. Those words are out of my lips before I can even think them. I stop suddenly, trying to ignore the hot flush in my cheeks. Claude looks at me puzzled, and for a few moments I feel triumphant that I've caught him off guard. Then his puzzled look fades, and he just grins at me. Oh my, so forward. Forward? I have my mouth to apologize, and suddenly he grabs my hands and tucks me down to the bed. The instincts Claude taught me in my sword fighting are quickly overwhelmed by my surprise, and in no time at all he has me pinned down to the bed and is living just above me, smiling. There we go, there's the thumbnail! I'm disappointed. Princess, you knew my weakness, and you didn't even exploit it there. Your weakness? Yes. He leans closer to me and our noses almost touch. My weakness is you. Oh, that might be the thumbnail, actually. He leans down and our lips finally meet. I relax into the contact, my earlier tension melting away as warmth flows through me. He pulls away and smiles. You see, I let my guard down in front of you. I let my guard down in front of him too. And only him. The whole time all I've wanted to do is be able to touch him like this. His fingers move gently up my arm and he leans down to kiss me again. Uh-oh. The sound of knocking startles us both. A muffled voice comes through the door. Princess, the king is requesting your presence down in the dining hall. He says your friends have arrived. Princess? Oh, it's a maid. Oops. I can't. You know what? A man can be a maid, it's fine. I heard the doorknob begin to turn and quickly speak. Yes, I'll be there in a minute. I'll let him know, princess. First the curse and now this. As if the world is conspiring against us. He kisses me once more on the forehead before slowly sitting up and running a hand through his hair. I catch the mischievous look in his eyes as I smooth down my own ruffled hair. Don't worry, we'll finish this later. I feel my cheeks flush. You say such uncouth things! Claude chuckles before he stands up and offers his hand. I take it and smile up at him. I love you, Carly, and now I get to say it as many times as I like. I love you too, Claude. I stand up on my toes to plant a quick kiss on his lips before heading to the door. Let's go. Yay, I got the good ending. Goodness gracious. Have I unlocked the other routes now? I didn't realize this video is almost 2 hours. I am so sorry. Indian theme broken Cinderella. Rumpel visual novel engine. It really is unfair that men have such nice eyelashes. Honestly. I mean, I guess all the characters have similar look, but like... Hello. Original concept Akiri 34? Is that what that said? Oh, look at all the Kickstarter backers. Damn. Good work, everyone. Thank you for funding this game, because I really did like it. As much as the main character annoyed the shit out of me, I liked it. Daisuke. And we're back to the title screen, probably. Yep. Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button, as well as the bell icon to get notified when I post. Sharing the video would be appreciated as well. There's a link tree in the description that has a link to all my other links if you'd like to, you know, donate so I can make better videos for you, or if you just want to follow me on Twitch. I've been trying to stream more consistently. It hasn't worked very well, but I've been trying. I've also got some I've got my Wattpad and Archive of Our Own linked because I'm wanting to work on some writing projects, and yeah, so we got one down, and there are 3 other routes to do. So, I'm assuming that one is Rumpel. That one's Rod. I'm not sure what these 2 are. These 2 are the ones that are locked. I'm pretty sure. I know one of them is Fritz, but I don't know what the other one is. I might have to look it up. I'll look it up and see which one I want to do next. But I'm assuming that's Rumpel and that's Rod. I don't particularly want to do either one of these, but if I have to do it to unlock these 2, I will. I might even switch this playlist as Cinderella Phenomenon Karma route. But anyway, thank you guys again. I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.